I'm Sergeant Ramsey. I'm the one that called you. Thank you for coming. I'm sorry to call you. Listen, we had a report of a disturbance at your house, and there were shots fired. Is your husband Michael? Okay, I'm sorry to tell you, ma'am. He's been killed. He's been killed, man. I'm sorry.
No,
Listen.
no.
In the annals of true crime, few stories are as bizarre and twisted as that of Dalia dippolito. This real-life drama unfolded in Palm Beach County, Florida, in 2009, and captivated the nation with its shocking plot, multiple twists, and a cast of characters that could rival any Hollywood thriller. The story of Dalia dippolito is a cautionary tale of deception, betrayal, and a murder-for-hire plot that kept the world on the edge of its seat. On the morning of August 5th, 2009, Dalia dippolito received the worst call of her life. It was Boynton Beach, Police Sergeant Frank Ramsey urging her to rush home from the gym. When she arrived, she was told that her husband, Mike dippolito, had been murdered. She broke down in tears, but it was all an elaborate setup. There had indeed been an attempt on Michael dippolito's life, but it was Dalia herself who hired a hitman to do so. Unfortunately for her, that hitman was an undercover cop, and it had all been caught on camera. Police had been tipped off weeks earlier about dippolito's plan, and they made a stunning agreement with the producers of Cops to send in an officer to pose as a hitman and film it. They even staged the crime scene in order to convince Dalia that the murder had gone as planned. And when investigators asked her to come to the police station to help them find suspects, Dalia dippolito agreed, unaware they already had one. It was only when her husband entered the interrogation room that she realized the jig was up, and that she was being charged with solicitation of first-degree murder. Born in New York City on October 18th, 1982, Dalia Muhammad and her two siblings were raised by an Egyptian father and a Peruvian mother. The family relocated to Boynton Beach, Florida, when she was 13 years old, where she graduated from a local high school in 2000. Uncertain of a career path, she opted for a real estate license and began moonlighting as an escort. It was through that work that she met Michael dippolito in 2008. Though he was married, he fell head over heels with Dalia and divorced his wife to marry her. Their wedding was on February 2nd, 2009, only 5 days after Mike's divorce was finalized. Mike dippolito was an ex-convict who served time in prison and was on probation for stock fraud. It didn't take long after tying the knot, however, for him to have a series of bizarre encounters with the law that jeopardized his freedom. One evening, he was pulled over by police after taking Dalia dippolito to dinner. Police found cocaine in his cigarette pack, but let him go after believing his sincerity and refuting it was his. On another morning, after Dalia handed him a Starbucks drink, Mike fell so ill that he was laid out for days, and his encounters with police were beginning to escalate. The police had received an anonymous tip that Mike was working as a drug dealer, they said. Though no evidence was found, Michael dippolito was scared enough that a charge would stick that, by the end of July 2009, he agreed to transfer the title of his house to Dalia to protect his assets, in case he be arrested. Unbeknownst to Mike, Dalia was the anonymous caller, and this was exactly what she had been planning. Dalia decided she wanted out and hatched a plan that would make her a millionaire by killing her husband and taking all his properties and money, including her husband's life insurance policy. In the twisted realm of her mind, she believed that hiring a hitman to murder her husband would be the solution to her problems. After weeks of thinking of a plan, she approached an ex-boyfriend named Mohammed Shihadeh to help her source for a hitman to kill her husband. Terrified by what he was hearing, Mohammed drove to the police station and tipped of the police of Dalia plans, and even though the police were initially skeptical to his claim, they chose to investigate. By chance, Cops was working with the police department that week and agreed to film everything. They set up a hidden camera in Shihadeh's car and told him to schedule a meeting with Dalia. Dalia met Shihadeh on July 30th, 2009 in a gas station parking lot, where he told her he had a contact who could do the job. She would meet the contact 2 days later to coordinate the details of the crime. Unbeknownst to Dalia, the Boynton Beach Police Department had Officer Whitty Jean go undercover as a hitman to confirm her intentions. Again, the police department coordinated with producers from cops to record the meeting, which took place in a red convertible in a nondescript parking lot on August 1st.
This is what you want. All right? So you sure you want to kill this dude?
Do we really have to?
All right.
It's just, I'd rather be as less, whatever.
Okay.
Like, how soon could you do it? And
I could do it
Wednesday
Wednesday morning at the house, because I was looking in newspapers here. There's been a lot of burglaries in this area. All right? It's not uncommon for someone to break into a house. Boom, and, he gets two in the head. That's it. I take a couple things with me, break a couple windows, make it look like a robbery that went bad. It's all over. I'm gone out of there. But I give you maybe 1 or 2 days, but I'll be in contact with you. You know what I mean? When it's all done, and then I get paid.
Okay.
You understand? Because I don't know how well we handle pressure. You understand? I don't know, because I don't want...
No, I'm not going to, I'm a lot tougher than what I look. I know you see me and you're like, oh, what a cute little girl, whatever. But I'm not.
You are. You're extremely beautiful.
Thank you, but,
Okay, so you pay me the back end. How much you pay me?
What do you say back on the
Well, okay, when it's all done. I was going to get $3,000 from you today, and
Right.
$3,000 when it's all done.
Right.
Okay? Since I'm going to collect all of it at once, just throw in maybe $1,000 more.
Okay.
1,000 or 2. So
Okay.
can you do 7 or 800,000? What's this one?
Just 7, is that okay?
Okay, 7 cash. Okay?
The recording of Dalia Dippolito's solicitation is undeniable. Posing as the hitman, John asks Dalia, "Are you sure you want to kill him?" Without hesitation, Dalia replies, "There's no changing. I'm determined already. I'm positive. I'm like 5,000% sure." Then she gave him $7,000 and agreed to be at her local gym on the morning of Wednesday, August 5th, to establish an alibi while it happened. The morning of the murder, Dalia Dippolito went to the gym at 6 a.m. as promised. While she was away, police set up a fake crime scene at her and Mike's beige townhouse. When she returned, there were several police cars parked in front. The house had been cordoned off with yellow tape, and a forensic photographer was documenting evidence. She fobbed into an officer's arms when he told her the news that Mike Dippolito was dead. It began as she might have expected. Sergeant Paul Sheridan comforted her as a widow and took her to the police station to help them identify a suspect. Gauging her reaction, Sheridan brought a handcuffed Whitty Jean into the room and claimed the suspect was seen fleeing her house. Jean, playing a caught criminal, denied knowing Dalia Dippolito. She denied knowing him as well. But then, police made a startling revelation. Mike Dippolito appeared in the doorway.
Come here, please. Come here. Mike, come here. Come here, please. Come here.
I can't fix this.
Why not? I didn't do anything
I
to
heard
you.
you.
Mike, come here, please. Come here.
Dalia Dippolito's first call from jail was to her husband. She not only denied trying to kill him, but criticized him for not getting her a lawyer. Mike demanded the title of his property back in return for comforting her distraught parents. While Dalia was released on $25,000 bail the next day, her trial loomed ahead. It began in spring 2011. Prosecutors argued Dippolito wanted her husband dead and control of his assets. Meanwhile, Dalia claimed she was aware of being filmed by an undercover officer, and that it was her husband, who was so desperate to become a reality TV star, who convinced her to concoct a murder-for-hire video. It was a stunt that Michael Dippolito, whether he'll admit it or not, hoped to capture the attention of someone in reality TV, said defense attorney Michael Selnick. Michael Dippolito's hoax to achieve fame and fortune was a bad prank. The jury disagreed and found Dalia Dippolito guilty. She was sentenced to 20 years, though an appeals court in 2014 found that the jury was improperly selected, leading to a retrial in 2016. "People tell me you're lucky to be alive," Mike Dippolito said at a sentencing hearing. And I'm like, I guess. But I still have to go through all of this. It's not even real. It's like I can't even believe that we're still sitting here like this girl didn't even try to do this. Despite the overwhelming evidence, that retrial ended in a 3. 3 hung jury. Dippolito was released on house arrest and gave birth to a son before her final trial in 2017. While Circuit Judge Glenn Kelly agreed with the defense that having cops film the arrest was egregious, he sentenced Dalia Dippolito to 16 years in prison on July 21, 2017. Her appeal to the Florida Supreme Court in 2019 was rejected. With no more appeals to file, Dalia Dippolito will stay at the Lowell Correctional Institution in Ocala, Florida until 2032.